chasing bullshit will fucking kill you. What would my life look like if I started living up to my potential? I'm in the situation where I have a gun drawn on us. Welcome to episode number 2 of the Results of Everything podcast. I'm so happy you're here. And if you're anything like me, whether you grew up in a bad area, maybe you're not where you want to be in life, maybe you know you could be doing better in life, maybe you know there's more to you, you have potential, but you're not reaching it, then you're going to be glad you click on this video. Because today, as you saw in the title, I'm going to be sharing with you 7 lessons that kept me alive in the Southside Chicago. Now, why these 7 lessons, and why is this important? Because these 7 lessons you can actually apply to, yes, growing up in a bad area, but you can also apply to anything else in life, whether it's a goal with fitness, whether it's a goal, financial goal, whether it's personal goal that you have in life. These 7 lessons are going to get you very far. Now, before I get into the first one, let me tell you why I'm even making this video. Yes, it's to share those 7 lessons, but that's not the real reason. The real reason I'm taking the time to create this podcast and bring a new guest every week and share all this knowledge with you is because, as you see the title of the podcast, the name of the podcast is Results Over Everything Podcast. Why? Because here's the thing, at the end of the day, no matter your circumstance, no matter how hard you had it, how easy you had it, what excuses you tell yourself, at the end of the day, the only thing that matters are results. So the reason I'm even taking the time to make this podcast is because growing up in a low-income household in the Southside Chicago, where I wasn't surrounded by the best people, I wish I would have had these lessons. I wish I would have a role model that I could go to and guide me. I didn't. Woohoo! I'm not crying about it. But now that I'm in the position to give back, to help, to share some knowledge, I'm gonna make sure I do, because I know there's someone else that's in my situation. I know there's a teen out there growing up in a bad area with no direction that could use of this advice. And if I could help that person or any person throughout the next podcast we do, then I'm gonna call this a success. Because I'm not making this podcast to be famous or rich. I'm helping this to help people. I'm doing this to help people. So with that being said, if you find any value in this video and you want to keep developing yourself, you want to keep improving year after year, make sure you subscribe, because every week we're going to drop in a new episode. Lesson number 1 that kept me alive in the Southside Chicago. And by the way, these lessons, they might seem so obvious to some of you. They might seem like, no shit, that's something you gotta do. Sometimes things are so obvious that they're easy to overlook. And because it's obvious, that doesn't mean it's not important. What matters is whether you actually do it or not. Well, anyways, lesson number 1, choose your friends wisely. Now, I have 2 stories that relate to the Southside Chicago and how I learned this lesson, quote unquote, the hard way. So, but the first story is of me growing up in the Southside Chicago in my early teens during high school. Now, this day was a regular day. I don't even remember what day it was. It was probably like a Thursday. Right after getting done playing soccer with my high school friends, we were just hanging out in the area, like the school's playground, the soccer field. Now, after the game, it was just a pickup game. It wasn't like a school versus school. It was just pickup, por una reta, if you speak Spanish. But after this game, we're just chilling, and after the game, just talking. Now, this game, in the South of Chicago, you have different types of friends. Some of my friends, they were hanging out with the wrong people, doing things that probably shouldn't be doing because if they get caught, it's obviously not good for them. So I obviously knew some of those people. And then you have your regular friends, normal like you. And then there's the weird kids, the ones you're not friends with unless you're a weird kid, which is okay. But anyways, we're done playing soccer. And one of my buddies, he actually lives like 5 minutes away from the school. And that wasn't really a close friend, but just someone I knew. He invited like four of us, five of us, to go hang out at his place because his parents are not there, and we could just chill, talk, maybe get some chips and soda on the way there because there was a corner store right in front of his house. Now, anyways, long story short, it's just any regular evening. We're hanging out this guy's house. I'm not gonna say his name because if you literally go to my social media, you find who it is because it's true stories, by the way. But anyways, we're hanging out just at his house. We're literally just talking, making jokes. Now, it was like five of us. Two of them were, in the bad footsteps. They were gangbangers or gangbangers wannabe, whatever they want, not to get into that. But we're just hanging out, talking to each other. When one kid, like some kid, we kind of know of, they obviously know him. Some kid just starts walking down the block, and I guess they don't get along very well. So this dude that's walking starts talking shit to one of my buddies. I don't even call him buddies, just some guy I knew because we go to the same school. But anyways, this guy starts talking shit to this guy. They start going back and forward. I don't remember what it was about, but they're talking trash to each other. And because there's like five of us, like some of the other guys start talking shit too. So this guy obviously feels intimidated. He feels disrespected. Is mad. He can't do anything. So guess what he does? He fucking pulls out a gun. Like literally points it at us. Now, mind you, I don't gangbang. I never claim to be a gangbanger. I don't hang out around the streets. I don't sell drugs, okay? But I'm in the situation where I have a gun drawn on us. Why? Because I just happen to be around the wrong people that day. Now, I did nothing wrong. But sometimes you don't have to do anything wrong. The thing you did wrong was being in that situation in the first place. So that's why I wanted to share that story with you first. Because if you choose your friends wisely, you'll avoid a lot of trouble. There was one more story I was going to share about this girl I used to date that used to sell cocaine. But let's move on to the second story, second lesson. If you want the story of the girl that used to sell cocaine that I was dating, go follow me on Instagram, and maybe I'll share it with you at RickyResults. Lesson number 2: you dictate your environment. Don't let your environment dictate you or who you are or who you become. Now, this one is a follow-up to number 1: choose your friends wisely. Because here's the thing: if you do choose your friends wisely and you did that well, right away, just from that, you're avoiding a lot of bad environments. Because bad people don't hang around with good people unless they're up to something bad. Alright, lesson number 2: you dictate your environment and don't let your environment dictate who you are or who you become. Now, 3 different examples I could give you of this lesson. One actually correlates back to choose your friends wisely. Because if you choose your friends wisely and they're not people that are doing bad things or illegal things, you're avoiding bad environments. Because if you're not going with them to the places they go, then you're not going. Now, the second story is nothing with violence. When I was growing up, I used to go work out the gym that was nearby, which was the Planet Fitness. Now, for a year or two, I worked out consistently. I made some progress. I got some results. But after that, I just kind of plateaued because I didn't know what I was doing. And everyone, not to talk bad about the people that go to Planet Fitness, but everyone there then wasn't really an expert on how to work out. They don't even have trainers there. And the people, they look decent at best. So I knew I had a plateau with my progress. And every time when I used to go to work, I used to work at car wash when I was 16. But on my way to work, I used to pass this other gym in a nicer area of Chicago. And everybody that came out from the gym was fit. They looked good. They looked in shape. They looked like they were happy. In my mind, I was like, they're doing something that I'm not doing. Or like, what are they doing? Like, because they're obviously seeing the results that I want. So, anyways, I simply decided to start being a little bit smarter with my money. I started working more hours at the car wash. And I decided to get membership at that gym. Now, that gym was like Planet Fitness $10 a month. That gym was like 10 times that. So I was paying like over $100 a month for gym membership. But hey, the environment was worth it because the environment had people who were ahead of me, both in fitness and in life in general. Just by changing my environment, now I'm in a better environment. I'm surrounded with better people, and everything's just better. All right, lesson number 3: let go of other people's expectations of you. Now, two stories I can think of here is one, um, if you grew up in a Mexican household, or I feel like almost any household, your parents have certain expectations of you. The things you're supposed to do, the people you're supposed to hang out with, the what you should study. Now, growing up, when I graduated high school, I graduated at 16, by the way, because my high school was a 3-year high school. So I was 16. I was just about to graduate high school. I had some scholarships. My GPA was 4.5. That means it's really good because the average, well, the best you normally do is 4.0. But I used to take advanced classes, so I went to 4.5. But anyways, um, I had scholarships. I had 4.5 GPA. I was smart. I didn't get in that much trouble. All my teachers, my parents, my friends, they all expected me to go to college. Now, I had decided I wasn't gonna go, cause for me, it doesn't make sense why I should go, work, study, invest 4 years of my life just to get a degree that doesn't. Most people don't even use the degree after they graduate. So just to have a mediocre life, it didn't make sense to me. I knew I wanted something more of life, but I didn't know what. Now, what happened was I was about to graduate, and everybody expected me to go to college. But when my teachers found out, my school counselor found out that I wasn't gonna go, they decided to have a meeting with my parents. They sat down my mom and my dad in a rectangle table. All my teachers were there. The school counselor was there. The school principal was there to have a meeting with my parents. Why is your son not going to college? Don't you know most kids that don't go to college are less likely to be successful, and they're gonna end up like being a gangbanger or working a minimum wage job? They literally told my parents, if your son doesn't go to school, he's not gonna be successful, and he's probably gonna end up like most of his friends, either dead or in jail. So the expectations of my teachers and my parents were like super high. But I know if I follow their goals, I might end up regretting my life. And a lot of times, some of you might be going through that where someone wants you to do something and you're trying to please them and you're trying to do it to make them proud. If it's not going to make you happy, what's the point? You one other example of letting go of people's expectations of you, if you're somebody that's growing up in the bad area, is you're going to be surrounded by friends that are doing stupid stuff. They're going to expect you to follow along and do what they do. You got to be able to let go of those expectations. And sometimes you don't even have to tell them directly that you don't want to do it because, you will get out of it easy. Just tell them you have something else to do. You're busy with this, you're busy with that. Because following other people's expectations is like, one of my favorite quotes is, chasing bullshit will fucking kill you. And it's true. You chase bullshit, it's bullshit. It's going to lead you nowhere. Chase something that you want, that's going to help you. Lesson number 4, and this one is to follow up on lesson number 3, is only take advice from people who have done what you want to do. Only take advice from people who have the life that you want to have. People who have done what you want to do. Because if I had taken the advice of my teachers, gone to college, be an English teacher, be an accountant, do something, yeah, I'm going to be able to pay my bills, but I'm not being fulfilled. So, and now I'm in the same position as them. So, if I don't want to end up like them, why would I listen to them? And the people that you should be taking advice from, the people who you should listen to, are the people that are where you want to be fitness wise. So if you're someone looking to lose weight or build muscle, you should start listening to people who are in shape. The other area is financial. If right now you're working at a job that you don't like, one job I used to hate was being a busboy. I did it. I sucked it up. I did like I loved it, but I knew that's not what I wanted. I started to hang out around people that were more successful than me. I started to read books on people that became millionaires. I started to study the psychology of great people like Sam Walton. Well, so that's one example that applies to finances. And the last one, only take advice from people who have the relationships that you want. If you're looking to date and you know if you should marry this girl or not, ask a married couple that's been married for 10 years, 20 years. What has worked, what hasn't, what are things you should avoid. Lesson number 5, practice Kaizen. What's Kaizen? Kaizen is a Japanese word for which means small improvements daily over time accumulate to huge rewards. So it's just practice self development, constantly improve, develop new skills, develop yourself physically, improve on your fitness. When someone looks at you and you're in shape, there's already a subconscious level of respect for you because it takes work to do that. Develop your education, start to expand your mind, learn about different uh, people who did something with their life, learn about nature, learn about um, computers, so that you're diverse. You're diverse on the different things you know, because you never know when they might come in handy. And the last one, develop your communication skills. Other people have what you want. If you're not able to talk to them, you're never gonna grow. If you're not able to talk to a girl, you're never gonna have a girlfriend. You're never gonna date anyone. If you're not able to go into that interview and be confident, say why you're a good candidate, you're never gonna make any good money. Um, there's many examples for communication, but those are the main areas to keep developing. Develop your skills, develop high income skills so you can start making high incomes, develop yourself physically. Lesson number 6, take time to find out what you want. Because if you're following other people's dreams, it's only going to lead to disappointment. Find out what you want, and you don't have to know what your life purpose is right now. If right now, all you know is what the next 60, 90 days look like, go with that. Just make the best of that. Because you haven't tried enough things to know what you want. Because when the right opportunity comes along and you're prepared for it, then you're able to take it. That's what people call being lucky. But guess what? You were simply prepared. Because here's the thing. You could be at the right place at the right time, but not be the right person. So you need to keep developing yourself. That way, when the opportunity comes along, you could take it. And guess what? Find out how good it goes. Maybe it's a thing you do for a year or two, and you find out that's not your purpose. Guess what? Now you're one step closer to your purpose. But guess what? Also, what if that was your purpose? You see? So take your time, try new things, so you could really find out what you want, what you like. The last lesson is every 30 days, take time to evaluate your life, evaluate yourself, and reset yourself. Every 30 days, these are the 3 questions I ask myself. 1, am I following my purpose or somebody else's goal? 2, what would my life look like if I started living up to my potential? Some of you guys know you're smart, you know you're good looking, you know you're sharp on your feet, you know there's more to you, but guess what? You're just being lazy. So you being lazy is you not living up to your potential. So you just gotta be honest with you. And then the last one is, who do I need to surround myself with and who do I need to cut off? If you ask yourself these 3 questions every 30 days, every month after month, you're gonna be on the right track. Again, Kaizen. Small improvements over time lead to huge rewards over time. If you found that valuable, do me a big favor, do yourself a big favor, and subscribe to the channel. Because every week, I'm bringing a new expert. We're dropping knowledge bombs. We're sharing the lessons we learned the hard way so you don't have to. So, with that said, I'm RickyResults. I'll see you on the next episode.